Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our information session. Today is Saturday, the 16th of October, and we're very much excited because our students would have gotten their CXC results yesterday, and many of them are very excited and jubilant about their results, and many of them, I'm sure, are looking forward to the next stage of their academic journey. Today, I'm so happy to present here the information about the newest and the most affordable BSc in Information Technology in Trinidad and Tobago. So, who am I? Well, my name is Ravi Raghunath, and I'm the Executive Director of CTS College. Joining me a bit later on today is our Program Administrator, Mr. Sanjeev Nunu. So Sanjeev will be joining us. This is his phone number and his email address. Feel free to use these to reach out to us at any time as well. Okay? Oh, I forgot to include my camera as well. So just noting my camera also for you guys so that you guys can pay attention as well. You can see what I look like. So hello, everyone. Hope you're having a wonderful day. So what are we going to cover in today's session? So in today's session, we're going to answer questions such as, why should you study a BSc in Information Technology? Why should you study with the University of Bedfordshire? I mean, there are so many options available to you as well. Why study at CTS College? And what are the features of the program? And what am I going to learn? And how can I fit this into my busy life? I don't really have so much time. So how can I fit this study and my work into my busy lifestyle, right? I have kids as well. What support is available? You know, will CTS be helpful, right? Where will I graduate? Do I have to go all the way in England to graduate? Or can I go to England to graduate, right? Am I eligible to study? Do I have the entry requirements to start, right? How much will this thing cost me? And when can I start, right? So those are some of the things we would look at during today's session, okay? So why study the BSc in Information Technology? Now, just first of all, why study a BSc? Any one of you want to tell me why you're considering your child or yourself studying this program or a program? What are you hoping to achieve at the end, right? What benefits are you expecting to derive at the end of this course? Any one of you, feel free to share. Anyone?
Yes, sir. Morning.
Good morning. Hi, Kira.
Hi. So I mainly wanted to try this program because I just got done with my diploma and I kind of just want to further myself in the field of IT. So the diploma was more general and I kind of like that because I'm still figuring things out. So I'll find out my niche and what I really want to specialize in after. But yeah, that is the main reason why I wanted to try this program.
Thanks so much, Kira. All right. So
Yeah,
you're
no
hoping
problem.
that at the end, when you graduate, you'll have more job opportunities and stuff as well?
Yes, for sure.
No problem. All right.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah.
someone else was going to speak. Come on,
Hi,
Nel.
morning.
Hi, Nelka. Oh, this is a
Hi.
familiar name.
I one of the main reasons to do this program, I am not naturally a IT person, but one of the biggest influences for me to do this is because the world is moving into that direction, and it's kind of like you either do it or you die in it, because we are in the informational technology. I mean, these are basic things that we will know. Not basic, but it's now becoming basic, that we need to know how to do in order to survive, whether in business or to function on a day-to-day basis.
I would agree. It's very much an IT, we're in the IT driven age as well. So therefore, it's a really important skill to have. All right. Okay. So what I'll share with you now, we have been asking these questions year after year to different individuals. And these are some of the things they would have said. So some of the reason, some of the things they're hoping to achieve at the end of their study is the following. For many of them, they want a promotion. They're hoping that they're already working in IT and they're hoping that having a degree will help to give them a promotion. Some of them looked at a career change. Some of them looked at an increase in salary, which doesn't always, some companies actually, they don't give you a promotion, but they give you an increase in salary, right, by having a degree. Some persons look at starting or growing their business. So therefore they use their qualification to increase their business. One of my students is a dentist actually, but he also owns an IT company, and he's using the degree as well to help him to understand better so that he can grow his business. Some for personal achievement. You've always wanted to have your degree, right? Or your IT degree, and therefore it's a personal achievement. Many persons would have done it because of the practical skills they're getting in IT as well. So that's why. And of course, it's to enhance their employability as well, because the whole thing is that for many persons straight out of secondary school, you're looking to enter the job market after. And in order to enter the job market, you need to be well equipped, and having a degree is really to enhance your employability. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do, a lot of people focus on the cost of a degree. And trust me, the cost of a degree must be factored in. But at the same time, what I want you to do, often we lose sight of the investment that you're making when you do your education. You've just spent 5 years maybe in secondary school or spent a few years doing your diploma, etc. But I want you to understand the difference that a degree makes. And I'm going to use an example. For this example, I'm going to use an OJT employee. So using an OJT employee, I want to show you the difference that it makes by having a degree. We're going to look at OJT employee John. John has CSEC passes. As an OJT employee, John will get a salary of roughly $3,025 a month. So that's a monthly salary. On the other hand now, right? On the other hand, Mr. Puran has his bachelor's degree and he went to OJT for a job and he got a job using his bachelor's degree. His monthly salary is $7,562.50 per month. Could you give me an idea each month how much more Mr. Puran earns than John earns? John has CSEC and Mr. Puran has a bachelor's degree. On average, how much would you see that working out to? Roughly, right? Is that roughly just over $4,500 a month, right? So in 1 month, you would have earned $4,500 more, right? But you're not going to work 1 month and stop, right? So in 1 month, you earn $4,500 more, but in 1 year, as an OJT, how much more would you have earned? It's roughly 45,3750 multiplied by 12. And when you multiply by 12, you are earning 54,000 more in 1 year. That's how much you're earning more. You've already covered the cost of your degree with just 1 year working as an OJT with your degree, right? But you're not going to retire after 1 year. If you continue to work, so John the OJT and Mr. Puran with the bachelor's degree, both working, and assume the salary remains the same for the rest of their working life, on average, they would have worked maybe 40 years. If they worked 40 years, how much more you think Mr. Puran would have earned than John? Any guess? It's over $2 million more. Yep, with a degree, you would have earned $2 million more. Now, the thing is, this is assuming everything stays the same. Your salary doesn't change. But we know that typically, a bachelor's degree holder, their salary is expected to change at a much more rapid rate than someone with CXC passes. Of course, there are exceptions to the rule. In fact, the pundits have said that on average, that change could be as much as $6 million more you would have earned over the course of the program, over your employment, right, with a bachelor's degree. So it gives reasonable case to consider doing a bachelor's degree when you look at how much more you could earn, rather than look at how much you have to spend and the sacrifice you have to make. Everything is a sacrifice, even in relationships is a sacrifice. But the truth is you need to invest in it because at the end, at some point, you'll reap your rewards. You would have studied hard for your to write your CSEC exam, but that hard work paid off when you got your results, right? Of course, if you didn't work hard, you probably got the results as well that, that goes with not working hard. But when we look at the job market, because I think one of you indicated that, Anelka, you said that when you look at the job market, it's really pushing towards an IT in terms of IT jobs, right? So the World Economic Forum is a body that most companies look to talk about trends in the job market as well. And this is what World Economic Forum is saying. They are suggesting that the workforce is automating at a faster pace than normal. And particularly in a COVID environment, COVID has just pushed the workforce to move more, to automate more, right? Meaning to use more computers, etc. And that reduces the need for certain skills as well. But it also provides new opportunities for jobs. In fact, when you look at some of the new jobs that are expected to open up over the next coming years, this is a look at some of what we call the ins and the outs in the job market. So in terms of the ins and the outs, increasing demand, you have data analysts and scientists, AI and machine specialists, big data specialists, digital marketing, process automation, business development professional, digital transformation, information security analysts, software and application developers, Internet of Things specialists, project managers, etc. But when you look at most of these jobs, the bulk of them are IT related. And there are other jobs that are slowly moving out. There are other jobs that are slowly being replaced by these jobs that are now being automated. So therefore, if you focus on what they are saying, right? You would understand, therefore, the need to get your degree and the need to study a particular areas as well, because it's simply where the job market is heading, okay? Now that you've maybe feel a little bit more convinced about studying for your IT degree, let's talk a bit about why study with the University of Bedfordshire. I mean, the University of Bedfordshire is a UK university, right? The thing is, they don't have a football club in the Premier League. So many of you may not know them if you follow the English Premier League. They're not from one of the bigger cities either. But here's some things about the university, right? It's a modern, innovative university, and with a heritage that goes back to over 100 years. There are more than 20,000 students from over 120 different countries. They have a very broad student base. There are 5 campuses in the UK, including their main campus in Luton, one in Bedford, one in Potteridge, one in Islesburg, and one in Milton Keynes, right? They have partners across in Europe, Asia, Middle East, etc., and in Trinidad and Tobago. In fact, CTS College was one of their first partners on the western side of England, right? They're internationally recognized university, ranked in the top 6%, and also the winner of the Queen's University Award in 2013. So these are some bragging rights of the university. And of course, they're ranked in different platforms as well, right? Now, apart from that though, why study with CTS College, right? Now, I'll tell you a little bit about CTS College. Our motto is to provide high quality and relevant educational opportunities while promoting excellence in staff and students. Now, just to share with you about our mission, we are a private institution. We have been in existence now for over 21 years. We are ACTT registered, right? And we offer programs from preschool to primary to secondary to tertiary, including diplomas, degrees, master's programs as well. And we offer a range of certification courses. To be quite honest, I think we're the only school in Trinidad offering education from the cradle to the grave, pretty much, you know, and that's because of our business model. We believe that schools teach people to become entrepreneurs, and therefore COVID has helped us to become even more entrepreneurial. We recognize opportunities as well, and we seize many of those opportunities. To be quite honest, the college has grown post-COVID much faster than it had grown pre-COVID. That doesn't mean that I'm happy about COVID. Certainly not, because it's so unfortunate what is happening. But at the same time, even in the midst of chaos, there are opportunities. And I'm encouraging you as well to always look for opportunities as well, right? Because as a school, we are encouraging our students to be business-minded. Don't necessarily wait for someone to employ you. You can develop skills and stuff that you could develop your own business also. So in that regard, we continue to look for other opportunities and avenues. And now we're even way bigger than we were prior to COVID. COVID has basically pushed us to do things that we may have taken us 5 or 6 years to do. It forced us to do it in a much shorter period of time. And now, we've been very successful at these. In terms of about CTS and our award winners as well, just to share with you, this is what I will call our bragging page. So we've won over 98 AB World Prizes, and a World Prize is given to the student who got the highest mark in the program worldwide. So we've had 98 winners. In fact, in the last 5 years, we have been the top school in Trinidad offering the AB program. And we started off really small with AB. We just had 5 students in our first AB class, right? And now we have so many World Prize winners. Each intake, in fact, each year we get the most number of World Prize winners in Trinidad, and we have the record number of World Prize winners with AB. We won 13 World Prize winners in one session with AB. That's a record no one else has ever achieved, and that's a big achievement for us. We've won over 47 university awards from the University of Bedfordshire. We won awards with ABMA. We also won awards with AIB, and we've also won ACTT awards. ACTT had, well, because of budgetary constraint, they stopped having those awards. But when they held the awards, right, we had won 11 ACTT Quality and Tertiary Education Awards, 6 of those for student support services, 3 for excellence in established quality management system, and 2 for excellence in teaching and learning. We've won more than any other school, and this is a big achievement for us, especially when we are competing with giants like UE, UTT, schools that have been established for many years. In no way this is to bring down any school, but this is really just to share with you in terms of the level of the success as well that we would have achieved as well in winning these and being recognized by the Accreditation Council, for outstanding student support and excellence in teaching and learning, etc. So you're going to be part of that whole experience. In terms of delivering a bachelor's degree, we have over 15 years of experience delivering a BSc program with an average pass rate of over 85. In fact, recently this pass rate has topped 90% now, right? With over 2,000 applicants, over 17,000 graduates, and with our graduates employed in various sectors in different industries as well. Now, features of the program, right? When we were looking for a program, we looked for specific things. We looked at what the employer wants. We looked at what the student wants. Now, I told you we've had over 22,000 students enrolling and graduating from the program. But liaising with those students over the years, this is often what students would have indicated that they wanted. Many students wanted a program that was accredited, right? So that's important. Your program must be accredited. That's our requirement as well. It must be an accredited program, right? It must be globally accessible. Globally accessible means that I had students who are often traveling for work and stuff. So they wanted to be able to access the information from anywhere in the world. So that's one of the things we looked at. Employers wanted the program to be practical because they wanted when students come out to work now that they were coming into the workplace with skills, not that they're so fresh that everything had to be learned from scratch. Of course, new skills had to be learned, but at the same time, you are going into the workplace with skills as opposed to going without any, right? A lot of our students were working and they didn't want to spend 4 and 5 years doing a degree. They wanted their degree in the shortest possible time. So we have to find ways now or look for programs also that were accelerated, because at the end of it, you don't want to spend 6 years doing a degree such that by the time you finish, the degree is almost obsolete because the content had changed so much. And of course, we're in a very price sensitive market, so our program needed to be very affordable. So with these in mind and a few others as well, we started looking for programs. And this is how we ended up with the University of Bedfordshire, because they checked all the boxes. They fit, you know, all of the things we wanted, they were able to provide. The University of Bedfordshire program is fully accredited, right? It's accredited by the Quality Assurance Agency in the UK, right? And the QA basically advises the government in the UK about granting degree awarding powers to universities. You just cannot set up a university. You have to get that power, must be given from QA, and that is they will advise the government, and the government in turn will advise grant the state status, right? Apart from that, they are also accredited or recognized by Accreditation Council of Trinidad and Tobago, which many of you are familiar with. Now, the next thing we're going to look at is the quality arrangement. Now, in terms of transnational quality, the university is in the UK and we are in Trinidad, but these are things that they do. All our marketing and promotion must be approved by the university. All admissions are approved by the university. CTS doesn't approve you for the program, the university does. So the university is the one who determines whether you are accepted or not, right? All our lecturers are approved by the university. All teaching materials are approved by the university. All assessments are set and marked by the university, and annual audits are done by the university as well. And they also do continuous feedback and reviews also. The program is also globally accessible. I told you that they have students from all over the world. So what they did, they have an online learning environment called Brio. Brio is the Bedfordshire learning environment where you can get all your lecture notes, etc., all your materials, and that's available on Brio 24/7. So you'll have access to that. You'll also have access to student information desk 24/7 that you can access for support as well. The program is also practical, and throughout the program you'll be solving real-life IT challenges, right? So it's a very hands-on program, and this is something I wanted because I didn't want students just to learn off theory and they don't know how to apply it. And throughout the course, you'll be solving practical problems. You'll be developing solutions to solve real-life issues. Some of them you choose, so you choose an area and come up with an IT solution, and others you'll be assigned, like you'll have to develop a e-commerce web application, or you'll be told to develop a taxi booking system or a hotel booking system, etc. And there are others where you choose which field that you want to develop a solution for, etc. Right? You'll learn about databases, which are really practical if you're going to work as well. You learn about networking. There's so many different things you're going to cover in the course. Now, in terms of the program, it's also accelerated. And the question you may ask is, how is this accelerated? Well, what happens is that in the UK, this program actually takes 3 years to complete. But with our special arrangement, you can complete this program in 2 years. Let me share with you how that's possible. In the UK, there are 3 semesters in a given year. There's an intake in October, one in February, and one in June. Now, in each level, there are 2 subjects, right? In each level, 4 subjects, sorry, in each level. So you'll do 2 subjects in one semester, 2 subjects in the other semester. So in 2 semesters, you would have completed your 4 subjects. But in the 3rd semester, this is what happens. And that's usually the summer semester, right? In the summer semester in the UK, the bulk of the students are full-time. So those students go home to their families. Many of them are from China or from far areas. So for the summer program, they don't do any classes. They simply go home and be with their families, etc. Now, I indicated to the university that, look, the Trinidad situation is a lot different. We are so small. A student would not be leaving their home to come to live in Chaguanas to attend classes. They would be living at their home. They might travel to classes if it's face-to-face or do it online, right? In fact, all our classes will now be online, right? But having said that, it does not make sense for us that the student finished 4 subjects and they're just doing nothing for 4 months. Can you allow the student to move on to the next level, which they did, which means now that in 8 months or 2 terms, you finish 1 level, and in another 8 months, you finish the next level, which is year 2, and in another 8 months, you finish the next level, which is year 3. So in 8 plus 8 plus 8, which is 24 months or 2 years, you finish the entire program. All right. Now, there are different entry levels as well, and you could start at any of the level based on based on work experience or academic qualifications, etc. You could start at the different levels, which we'll talk about as well. Now, there's also a bridging program that could be done in 4 months, which is 1 semester. Okay, so just noting the above. All right. Now, based on that, now that is how we got an accelerated program. Our semesters are the exact same length at the university. The only thing is, for the summer semester, students don't do anything because they go home to their families. But in Trinidad, you continue on the program or you move on to the next level, as the case may be. Okay, so that's the difference. Okay, so you could complete this in as little as 2 years. It's an affordable investment. And what we've done, right, we are going to talk about, you know, arrangement with, we have an arrangement with JMMB where you can get student loans as well. Of course, you don't have to just go to JMMB. You could go to your own bank and look for student loan also for the program. But apart from that too, we're going to look at payment plans and all of that to make the program an affordable investment for you. And we'll talk about that closer to the end of the session, right? Now, how is this program structured? The program is made up of 3 levels, a level 4, which is called year 1, but it's made up of 4 units. Level 5, which we call year 2, is also made up of 4 units. And level 6, which is year 3, made up of 4 units. Now, remember, even though we say year 1, year 2, year 3, is really not 3 years, right? Because level 4, which is year 1, is done in 8 months. Level 5, which is year 2, is done in 8 months. Level 6, year 3, is done in 8 months. So after 8 months, you move on to the next level. So based on that now, let's look at the entry requirements. Now, to start at level 4, it's ideal if you did CAPE, or you have 2 or more years work experience, or you have IT certifications, or you have 3 or more years of just any work experience. Once you have any work experience, etc., ideally you could come in at level 4. In fact, I've often found that students 19 years and over typically get into level 4. Now, right? Now, ideally, so if you're a mature candidate, you start at level 4. Level 4 is the beginner, where beginners start, right? Level 4 is the ideal place to start the program. Now, to get into level 5, you could get in by passing level 4, or you could get in directly into level 4 based on the following. So for level 4 now, right, you could get in if you have an IT diploma, or if you have 2 years work experience, IT work experience, and you have certifications. So if you have IT work experience, you can have a chat with me and we can look at where may be the best starting point for you. If you hold IT certifications as well, those things are helpful to start at a higher level. The only thing is that at the lower level, like level 4, you learn a lot of programming, which is really helpful at the higher levels. So if you're starting at the higher levels, sometimes you may miss out those. But of course, if you did that in your previous program, not a big issue. Right. And of course, you could start directly at level 6 as well. You could start at level 6 if you have an associate degree in IT, a HND, a BTech HND, or any other IT HND. You have a level 5 IT diploma from UTT, right? Or you have IT work experience and you have IT certifications, then you could start at level 6 as well. So if you're not sure, have a chat and we could probably come up with some suggestion. Of course, the university makes the final choice. Okay. Now, there's also the bridging program, right? And the bridging program is really ideal for persons who are like 16 and 17 years, who just wrote CSEC, right? If you just wrote CSEC, the bridging program is your ideal starting point. Now, the bridging program currently has just one unit in it, but the university has indicated to me that they're looking at revising the bridging program to include 2 units. So just to note, the bridging program will likely have 2 units starting in January, right? But I'm awaiting confirmation from the university. So please note, right? I did not update it on the slides because I'm still awaiting confirmation. So I'm hoping to get that within the month or so. All right. But it is done in 4 months. Okay. Now, what am I going to learn in this program? Well, here's the thing. In year 1, you learn more introductory skills, such as you learn about software, you learn to program in Python, you learn Java, you learn Oracle, you learn databases and writing, basically creating a database solution as well. So you learn about ER diagrams, normalization, etc. You'll also have access to Cisco Academy. So you'll actually get a Cisco qualification as well in the networking course. So those are some of the things you would learn. You would learn about hardware, logic gates and stuff like that. Also, you'll be taught about the IT industry. So one part of the course is you're learning about the IT industry and how basically to prepare yourself for it. In level 5 now, you'll focus more on design and development. So you'll learn more development. You'll build like a student kiosk system. You'll also build a e-commerce system as well, right? There are different options available for you to build. You'd also learn PHP as well in year 2. You'd also design systems as well. So you'll design systems to solve problems also. And in year 3, you will do more project management, some more design, but you have to look at problem areas in your country and you have to design solution for those. And for your thesis, you also have to build an application and do a thesis to go with it as well, right? So you have to build an application and also have your technical documentation. So those are what's covered in the different years. So this is an example of the units as well. Just a note, we had a small change in units here in level 5. HCI, human computer interaction, was replaced by user experience design because the workplace is changing. The university is updating the program to reflect more what the employers want and what is trending. So this is now changed to user experience design, and IT industries project is now IT employability project as well. Okay. Also, fundamental of computer studies is replaced by fundamentals of computer science. So those are some of the changes. The bridging program, you're seeing 1 unit here, and I'm awaiting confirmation about the other unit if they're actually going ahead with it. So I'm awaiting that confirmation. All right. Now, how could I fit this program into my busy lifestyle? Because I have so many things to do. I have my job, I have my family, right, etc. So let's share about the program, how you could easily fit it into your busy lifestyle. Well, first of all, there are 3 intake periods every year. So every 4 months, a new intake starts. So one is from February, one is in June, one is in October. So every 4 months, there's an intake. So every 4 months, a new intake starts, right? There's unit delivery as well, right? So in terms of how the units are delivered, a unit is a subject. So each subject is a 2-hour class. Most of them are on Saturdays, but not necessarily all on Saturday, right? So each subject is a 2-hour class per subject, and you're doing just 2 subjects at a time, right? So each subject, there's a 2-hour class for it, and you're doing just 2 at a time. So in most cases, all you have is 4 hours of classes for the week, right? And typically each assignment will have 2 assessments, or each subject, sorry, will have 2 assignments typically, right? The semester usually is 15 weeks in duration, and you have a 2-week break at the end of the semester. Now, in some instances, we may have a 3rd class for a subject in some instances. So if you look at the timetable, right, this is the estimated timetable based using 1 subject for level 4 for the bridging. This is on a Saturday, 8 to 10. If you're doing level 4 now, you have computer system structure is made up of 2 parts, databases and networking. Databases is on a Saturday, networking was on a Wednesday from 6:30 to 8:30. All classes are online. Everything is online, right? So you can do this in the comfort of your home or work or wherever you prefer to be, right? Or your bedroom. You have principle of programming is on a Tuesday. So this is basically the timetable here. Then web technology is on a Saturday. Systems development is on a Saturday as well. If you're in level 5, you have 2 classes in level 5. If you're in level 6 and you're new to level 6, you'll be doing 2 classes on a Saturday, right? Saturday 8 to 10 and 10 to 12:30. And of course, if you're continuing, you're in your 2nd semester of level 6, then you'll be doing these subjects here, right? So this is what your timetable looks like. Note, you just have either 4 or 6 hours of classes for the week. Much different from when you're in secondary school, where you probably had like about 40 hours of classes for the week, almost as doing a full-time job. Now you spend a lot less time in the class, but more time doing work, studying and stuff like that, right? Now, how will I be assessed? How are the assessments going to be? So your assessment may be coursework. It may be a group or individual assignment. It could be a portfolio, which is a series of things you have to put together. It could be an essay. It could be a presentation. It could be an exam, right? So it may vary from type to type. So the university uses a range of different techniques for testing or assessing students. Now, how do I pass now? To pass a unit, it means your total score in the unit must be 40 or more. Once you have gotten 40 or more in the unit, you have passed the unit. Now, in order to progress from one level to another, you must have passed at least 3 out of the 4 subjects. But in the 4th subject, you must have attained a grade of at least 35 in the 4th subject, right? The pass mark is 40, so you must pass 3 out of 4. And in the 4th subject, typically a mark of 35 or more to progress. Now, what if you fail now? So if you got a score less than 40, then you don't have to repeat as yet. There's a forgiving system called a referral. So the university will give you a referral exam to do, or assignment. And once you complete that, you can pass the unit without having to pay to repeat it. If, however, you fail the referral, then you have to pay to repeat the unit. Okay? All right. Now, having completed those, you can graduate now with first class honors, upper second class honors, lower second class honors, or third class honors. So these are different options you have for graduating. So graduate with first class, upper second, lower second, or third class honors. Okay. So based on these, so these are the different options you have when graduating, and that's based on how well you perform as well, right? Once your average is 70 or more for your best 3 subjects, right? And it must include the undergraduate project, then you can get first class honors. Now, let me tell you about CTS and support, right? Any one of you ever came to CTS before? Did a program at CTS? Well, I guess Nelka would have, right? But there are others who may have come to, or you may not have come to CTS, but I want to share with you.
I'm sorry, Robbie, I didn't hear the question.
Oh, no. I was asking any one of you came to CTS before, right?
Yes,
right?
It was lovely.
Thank you so much. Now, what makes CTS different is really our student support. And I mentioned to you that we won prizes with ACTT for our student support, but I want to share with you a little bit about the support that we provide, right? For us, we believe in providing students with all the tools they need for success. So therefore, your support doesn't start when you start classes. This information session is a form of support. Why? We believe it's important that you have all the information you need before you make a decision. Now, based on the decision, based on the information you get from today, you should be in a position to say, well, look, this is for me or this isn't for me. Maybe I need to check elsewhere, etc. You know, that sort of thing. Right? So it starts even when you would have sent an email to get information about the program, you would have gotten details back. You would have requested, we would have had the information session to further nurture you and provide all the details about the program so you can better understand the program. After you've applied, we will handle the whole application process, send it to the university, inform you, keep you updated, etc. And then after that as well, what would happen is that before you start classes, we'll have an induction program, which we will cover. At the induction, you learn about Harvard referencing, you learn about the university, what it is to be a student, the requirements, etc. Right? And throughout your studies as well, we have also developed like a shared drive where you can access all your notes, recordings, etc. We've made it very easy for you. So all the information you need is on a link. We provide a link to our Google Drive. You simply have access to all the materials, past assignments, lecture notes, the recording from the lecture notes as well. All of those things are available for you on the shared drive. So you have all the information in one central location. Apart from that too, if you need further help, we conduct tutorial. Every time you have an assignment, we do tutorials to prepare you for the assignment, right? So we do a lot of these different things also. Additionally, right, we have, well, I said, we do the induction where we teach you Harvard referencing, and we provide a lot of one-on-one support for our students as well if required. We also recognize, look, there are students who may have challenges, and the truth is there are some students who never tap into the support, and sometimes you have students who didn't submit an assignment even though we're offering support. So what we do, if we recognize the at-risk, we even start with the role, recognize who's not coming to class, follow up with them to make sure that, look, you know, is there a problem? Why are you not attending class? It could be because you're working, etc. Right? But but at least they have the recording. So we make the recording available for those who might be working, etc. But even if you need letters and all of those, just send us an email. We provide everything back to you as well, right? And you have online support through all the study material. Your grades is also accessed via the university portal, and all your assignments are submitted online as well. So you also have access to online journal libraries and stuff like that, okay? So there's a wealth of support available in the program. Before you start, we conduct induction, and this is where we guide you through the referencing, right? You provide study tips and tricks as well as academic writing workshops also. Our lecturers are working in the industry. So typically, in order to teach with us, we recommend lecturers have work experience in the area. So if you're teaching databases, you should have had database working experience as well. If you're teaching networking, you have networking experience. So just to give you an idea, like for our networking course, right? Glenn Singh is the lecturer. Glenn has written 6 books so far, right? And his books are on Amazon. His books are by Pakti, right? So his books are on Amazon. His books, if you check LinkedIn for Glenn Singh, you'll find his books as well, right? So each of our subject is taught by someone, a specialist in the subject area, so that you get a lot of practical experience. Also, you have the student voice where you can provide feedback and stuff. But I want to tell you something, even though like we try to form the student council, etc., the reality is that we have an open door policy. Every student has my number. You could call me anytime. You don't need to get a group and gang up to come to report a problem. You could call me and tell me about the problem. I'm very open to critique, because I believe that in order for us to learn and to grow, we need to know what the critiques are, what the criticism is, so that we can improve, right? We didn't get to where we are by just trying to be the same thing over and over. We had to grow, and it wasn't always the easiest process. Sometimes feedback might be painful, but we recognize how valuable it is as well to help us in our growth process. So we always encourage students to give us feedback to help us to grow. Now, what resources would you need if you want to start this program? Well, ideally, because this is done online, you need internet and you need a computer. I would encourage you to get a laptop or something, because the phone may not always cut it, simply because you have to type, you have to research, etc. So I would recommend getting a laptop preferably, okay? Now, if I'm finished this program, do I have to go to the UK to graduate, or would I be allowed to go to the UK to graduate? And the answer is, it's up to you. You will be allowed to go to the UK to graduate, but if you do, it will be at your cost. But we also provide a graduation ceremony. In fact, our graduation ceremony is typically at the Hyatt. It's a gala ceremony with lots of prizes and stuff like that, and you're getting Hyatt food, nice buffet, etc. Right? So it's a wonderful celebration. The only thing, however, is that with COVID, we've had to modify the graduation ceremony totally. The university uses an online ceremony. What we're doing, however, is we have our students coming out, but we do it in small batches, where they come and they get their portraits taken and all of that, because they want their portrait. So we arrange it at the Hyatt. They come get their portrait. They also get to shake hands with the vice chancellor. You know, I'll put shake hands in code because we know of COVID protocols, etc. And of course, you could get to take pictures with your family using props and all of those things as well. But we do it in small groups, so that at the end of it, you know, to ensure that we stay with or observe all protocols. All right. Next, well, how do I qualify? I already went through the entry requirements for the program, right? So I won't bother to go through the entry requirements again. Ideally, even when you send me a stuff, I will also recommend a level as well, based on what you would have submitted also, right? So we would have covered these already. Now, how do I apply? To apply to join this program, here's what you do. You need to complete the application form, which I'll email you after, and you need to submit your documents. Now, your documents could be your CXC results, it could be your resume, it could be any other qualifications you have, right? Now, ideally, those are IT-based qualifications you would typically look at, but if you don't, whatever other qualifications, feel free to send them, right? And if you have we need one form of ID, either your ID or your passport. Your national ID or your passport is sufficient. If you don't have those, then your driver's permit, but it cannot be expired. You cannot send us expired stuff because the university won't accept it, right? And you email those to us. When we get it, we will then process it, send it to the university, and keep you in the loop, okay? This is the application process, and the application process requires: one, the student will submit the application form to us, the completed application form with the supporting documents. They send it to study@ctscollege.com. That's the school's email address. After you've sent it to us now, Once your application is complete, right, has all the necessary stuff, it is sent to, right, it is sent by CTS to the university. UOB will review your application. They provide a 2-page offer letter, right? Page 1 is the acceptance and page 2 is the is your reply slip. And you complete those, send it to us. And then after you've done that now, right, we would also, then once you've done those, you would then register, make payment for fees. We will submit your forms to the university and then you're officially accepted and you'd be able to start classes, right? So that's the general process. Now, let's talk about costing for the program. In terms of the program, the following is the cost associated with the program. So this is the full cost for each level. Now, the only thing, as I said here, is the bridging program, because I know the university wants to make a small modification, but I'm not sure when. There's 1 unit in the bridging program. Registration is 500, tuition is 2,000, and the university fees is £150, right? Now, at level 4, level 5, and level 6, there are 4 units in each of these levels. So there are 4 units in level 4, level 5, and level 6. Now, in each of those, so 4 units in each of these, but you're doing 2 at a time. So it'll take 2 semesters to finish. Now, it's 500 registration per semester. Each semester you pay registration, 500 per semester, and here as well for each of the levels. Now, the tuition fee at CTS is $2,000 per subject, but you're doing 4. So the total cost of the 4 subjects is $8,000, and the total university fees for level 4 is £150 by 4, which is £600, right? Next is the level 5, which is year 2. It's roughly $2,250 per subject, and there are 4 subjects. So when you work it out, it's about $9,000, and the university fees is $600. But this is for the whole year, so you're not paying this up front. I want to make it clear. I'm just giving you the total fees so you get an idea. And then after, I'll show you the monthly breakdown and payment plans, right? Of course, in level 6, 500 to register, 2,500 per subject. There are 4 subjects, so it's 10,000. And the university fee is £375 by 4, which is 15,000 you're paying for the university fees, right? For level £1,500, sorry, for the university fees. So in terms of payment plans, we do have payment plans available. The following are some of our payment plans that we have available for you as well. Okay. All right. The presentation will be shared later. I'll make the presentation, I'll email it as well. All right. So what I'd like to ask you all to do as well, because I'm going to email the presentation to you, just to make sure that I have your correct email address. If you'd like, could you message me on the chat for this class, your email address? If you could kindly message me on the chat, your email address, right? Okay. So, all right, next. So let's look at the semester fee now. So if I divide the fee into semester, right, you're doing 2 subjects per semester. So for level 4, it's 500 to register, 4,000 for tuition, £300 to the university. That works out to 7,500. Level 5, it's 500 to register, 4,500 for tuition, 300 for the university. Works out to $8,000. And level 6 works out to roughly $13,000 per semester, 13,000 per semester, right? And it's 2 semesters, right? Each level has 2 semesters. This gives you an idea of the monthly payment. So if you're in the bridging program, you pay 500 to register. You can pay 500 per month for tuition for 4 months, assuming it's 1 subject, and you pay the £150. If you're in level 4, you're doing 2 subjects per semester, right? It's 500 to register. You pay 1,000 per month for tuition for 4 months, 1,000 per month for 4 months, and the £300 is paid to the university, well, upfront as well, etc. So this is your monthly payment plans, right? In terms of how much you'll be paying monthly. Now, we do have a special offer available for you, and that special offer entitles you to get $1,000 off your tuition fee per level, level 4, level 5, level 6. This equates to $250 off per unit. So you get $250 off per unit. So basically, all you have to do, let's talk about what do you need to do to qualify for this special offer. So this special offer could give you up to $1,000 off per level. So if you start at level 4, you could get up to $3,000 off the entire course. If you're starting at the bridging, then it will be $250 of the bridging from bridging to the final year. Now, how can you access this special offer? Well, to do that, 1, you must submit your completed application form with all the documents by Friday, 22nd October. You're emailing those to study@ctscollege.com. Then That's the part one. And part two, you have to pay the university fee and the tuition fee in full for the semester by the 10th of January. So that's January is quite away from here, but you must register and pay your university fees as well and tuition by that date to get the discount. Cool? So when can I start? Our next semester starts on Saturday, 5th February, but induction is the week before. So we have induction the week before, but classes start on Saturday, the 5th of February. So this is the start of the new semester, okay? Now, that brings us to the end of our formal part of it as well. I don't know if you have any particular questions you wanted to ask, but I can tell you what I also want to do. I want to show you how to fill out the application form, and I also want to demonstrate a bit about the share drive that we have available so that you can actually see the information that is available to you on the share drive as well, right? So I want to spend a little bit of time doing that. So I'm going to show you the share drive, and then we'll take it from there, right? But feel free to ask any questions you may have. All right. This is the share drive. All students are given access to the share drive. Now, there's a share drive for each level. So if you're in level 4, you'll have access to this here, level 5 students here, level 6 here. And there's the supporting document or information available to everyone. In the supporting information, you'll have the Zoom link for class, so you can easily find your Zoom links. Of course, we have a WhatsApp group, and all of that is placed every week in the WhatsApp group. So you always have the link for classes. You have your timetable, guides on how to submit assignment. You have software, how to view your results, etc. Right? How to make a payment, how to do Harvard referencing. These are the tutorials from those sessions, that sort of thing. Now, let's suppose you're in level 4. In level 4 now, right? Let's suppose this semester we're doing fundamentals of computer studies, right? So if you go to CTS lecture notes, within here now, you'll see the lecture notes for each of the different topics, topic 1 and 2, topic 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. These are the topics here. These are the lecture notes, right? And often include past exams and stuff like that. So it makes it easier. You also have access to your online recording, which is the recording from all the classes as well. Sorry, this is previous semester. So you have access to previous semester recording, right? But you do have access to the recording as well. So this is the recording for classes that have taken place so far, right? Right. You also have access to the university resources, which is their guided learning as well, which is here. And then apart from that, you'll have access to books and other stuff as well, right? So all of these are available on the share drive. The only thing is you can't submit your assignment here. You have to submit your assignment on Brio, but even if you go to the assignments folder, you should be able to see past assignments from other students as well. So you'll see samples from other students also. Good. So just to give you a guide. So this is our share drive, right? So our share drive provides, you'll have access to that. So you have a wealth of information available to you as well at your fingertips. A lot of students believe that that's like the crown jewel of stuff. They believe that's one of the most crucial resources to have as well. Now, apart from that, I want to show you how to fill out an application form. So I'm just going to pull up an application form as well. So you'll be able to see as well how to fill out the application form, right? A lot of time when students see the application form, they may feel a little bit intimidated with it, but it's really not much, right? In terms of the application form, you could paste your signature here, but if you don't have that option, don't worry about it, right? I will get your signature from any of the documents you send me, such as the ID or passport or one of those, and paste it in here. But if you can fill it out, great. You'll put male or female, right? You'll put your date of birth, day, then month, then year. You'll put your first name and your last name, like Doe and John, etc. Now, if your previous family name is if you change your last name, and particularly this is a woman who got married, many times they change their name. So this would be a previous family name. If it's changed, of course, you may have some individuals who may have undergone name change as well, or sworn an affidavit. This is your previous name. Don't worry about passport number. You can leave that out. However, what you're going to do, you'll put your address, include the address, and also include your telephone number and the chat. Okay, so those are things that you need to include. Your email address goes here, email address goes here, your mobile number goes here, right? If your mailing address and your home address is the same, you can just leave this here. If not, you have a different home address, you may put 2 different addresses here. All right, do you have any criminal convictions? I assume the answer is no. All right, country of birth, Trinidad. Nationality is Trinidadian, and your country of domicile is Trinidad. That's where you're living right now. Okay, are you currently resident UK? My recommendation for this is simply put no visitor, no, right? So no visitor, and then no here. Okay, and you can indicate it's self-funded if you wish. All right. Next, this part at the top, you don't have to fill it out. We already have it completed and given to you. You'll have BSc Information Technology, and you put undergraduate, and here you put the year, which whether it's year 1, year 2, year 3 you want to start at, and which intake, whether it's semester, September or October if you want, or February, etc. In your case, you're applying for the February 2022 intake, so here will be February 2022. All right, this is crucial because this is your qualifications and the university accept you based on your qualifications. Therefore, if you've done any studies at all, you put them here. Now, things to note, if you did 6 CXE passes or got 6 CXE passes, you don't need to put 6 lines. You could simply have 1 row that says secondary 2011 to 2016 or whatever, right? It was awarded in 2016, the institution is CXE, and you have 6 passes and you can list them here, right? You can list these 6 passes here if you wish, or however you choose to do it, right? So just a note, those are options of how to list your qualification. If you have an associate degree, you'll put your secondary, you put your tertiary degree, like for example, if you is IT, you did at Costa 2018 to 2020, you went to Costa, you done ASC and operating system management, etc. So that gives the how to fill it out for different programs. If you started an IT degree but you didn't finish it, I would still encourage you to include it here as well, right? Because any IT qualification you did, you should include it here so the university can see easily that you would have done other qualifications. Next, work experience, you'll put your job. If you have work experience, you'll put your job title, the company name, and when you started, etc. And FT is full-time and PT is part-time. Okay, don't worry about personal statement. Here is physical or disabled. If I'm disabled, put yes or no, right? And here is how did you hear about us, right? You can just choose authoritative agency if you want. Okay, next for references now. For your references, here's the thing that I would like to ask, right? That's the questions here. Oh, thanks for email address. If all of you could put your email address for me, please, right? For all of you, I'd like if you could put your email address, please. For the references, if you could list 2 references, all I need for the references, guys, is a name, a phone number, preferably name and phone number. If you could put in other information, fine, but name and phone number for 2 of them, right? Ideally, it could be a teacher, it could be someone in your neighborhood, etc., your pastor from church or someone in church, etc., or someone in a senior position, that sort of thing, right? Worst case, if you're not getting any, then you can put cousins and stuff, but ideally, that's not the best recommended option. And your signature goes here. But if you're having problem with your signature, let me know. And when you send your stuff, I will pull your signature from the ID that you're sending. And that basically is the application form, right? The rest of it, you don't need to do anything. So just the first 3 pages of your application form. So what you're doing is you're sending the completed application form together with your CXE results from online, if you're using that. Now, if you're using a CXE results from online, please note, ensure that you copy the whole screen, meaning, when I say the whole screen, meaning that you have the name of the school, you have the June 2021 CSEC, etc. You know, those things and your name, because sometimes students only put the grades part, but you don't know who, there's no name or anything like that. So we need the full thing from the CXE website, please, when you're sending it, okay? And that, guys, brings us to the end of our session. Do you have any other question, comments, or anything that you'd like to add?
Yes, sir.
Sure, go right ahead.
I was wondering, so am I qualified to apply for the classes if I have not written my CSEC exam as yet?
You can apply. Likely you'll be given the bridging program to do, right? So you don't need to have CSEC to get into the bridging, right? We have persons who don't have any CSEC qualification who've done the bridging as well, right? Or awaiting qualification who did the bridging also, but you could still apply, right? Do you have any IT experience, work experience, or you've done any other IT certifications or anything?
Not currently, sir. Not as yet.
All right, cool, no problem. But you can apply. Others? Kevin?
Yes, sir. Is this program gate funded? Like, is it approved?
Right, yeah. So in 2017, because of the falling oil price, the government was forced to cut or reduce the national expenditure. So what they did, they removed gate funding from all the registered institutions. That's 50 something registered institution, and they removed gate funding from all international program. So you would not get gate funding for the program, which is why we have the payment plans and stuff like that, right? So gate funding only applies to like public institution, but there are also restriction to gate funding in terms of how much they will fund as well. So just a note, right?
Thank you.
Right. So by the way, when you're applying, always apply for level 4, not the bridging program. So even though you just finished CSEC or etc., always apply for level 4, not the bridging. Let the university decide if they're accepting you for level 4 or the bridging, right? Because you can start level 4. We have quite a few students who were in that predicament who started level 4 with us, right? They just finished CSEC and they're in level 4 as well. So note the following. Cool. All right.
So
yeah, hey. Hey, Ralph.
Like, can I do the final year in another country if I choose to do that?
Well, our classes are online, so you could do it from anywhere in the world. All you have to do is tune into your Zoom classes, and you could do it from Timbuktu to Trinidad to anywhere you want to, right? All your assignments are submitted online, and you could do it from anywhere in the world.
Okay, and the 3 years of general work experience, that could be a driver, laborer, anything?
Anything. It doesn't have to be IT related. It could be any work experience. In fact, even students with 2 years work experience and 1 year work experience I've seen gotten in there, but I want to be careful that the university does it on a case by case basis. But you know, even though you may not have a full 3 years, you can qualify still, right?
Okay. So like I have started IT programs and I have dropped out. Like still have put that on.
Yeah, still put it because did you have any passes in those? Like maybe 1 or 2 passes in some of them?
Yes, hardware.
Right.
I passed the hardware courses and stuff.
You could include those, and you could include your transcript as well, because those could be helpful. Now, what if you don't have a valid ID now on hand? If you don't have a valid ID, I would recommend sending your date, your birth certificate, right? But I would encourage you to apply for your ID soon, because you could go to the ID card office. It's very easy now to get an ID. You could do appointments online. I actually recently had to get my ID as well, and it was a very simple process with the online application. And so I would encourage you guys to consider doing that as well, to get an ID, but you could apply without the ID, right?
So any exemptions if you have A-levels?
Right, A-levels allow you to start at level 4, right? Ideally, A-levels is level 4 entry. It's just that what they've done, they've been a bit more lenient with students with CSEC. So the truth is, A-level is not highly, I want to be cautious, but most degree programs now you could enter without A-levels. So now from CSEC, you could go straight into level 4 in many instances. And with A-level, you also start level 4, right? So, but typically with CSEC, you would have had to do the bridging, but they've made some exceptions at some times. That's why I'm encouraging persons, apply when you're applying, apply for level 4, but let them decide if you need to go in the bridging. Let that be their decision rather than yours, right? So you still apply without your ID, etc., but you can apply with your birth certificate in the meantime, and later on, when you get your ID, you will include it, right? What if you have an ITNS level 3 diploma? Where can you start? Because it's a level 3, ideally, you could probably you'll start at level 4, right? Because it's a level 3 qualification, you'll start at level 4. If you had a level 4 qualification, you could start an IT level 4 qualification, you could start at level 5. I'm just feeling questions from the chat, right?
Yeah. So morning, question concerning the fee amount in pounds. Is there an option to pay to CTS that in TT currency, or we have to come with the pounds?
All right, okay. Deusron, it's a very pertinent question, and it's something that impacts us a whole lot. When we started the program, the challenge we had was getting the pounds, and the university, basically when we had funds, the TT funds in our account, but the bank was not releasing the funds. I'll give you an example. Last semester I had to pay £83,000 to the university for students enrolled in the program, right? Now, the bank is not giving me any pounds at all. I cannot get that pounds from the bank. So what the banks did, right, they recommended to us now was to open a pound account and let students pay us in pounds, because you see, to them, it's easy for a student to get £300 or £600 or £750, rather than CTS College getting £80,000, right? So because of that, we ask the student to get the pounds made out of CTS College, and we deposit that into our pound account. Once it's there now, it's easy for us to pay the university because we have pounds in our pound account. Now, we do make exceptions here because of the situation, but the challenge is every exception we make, we are now crippled and challenged now to find a way to pay that pounds for the student because of the limitations, right? Now, we did use credit card to help and support us with the university, but the university does not accept credit card payments from students directly, unfortunately, right? I would have loved if the student paid the university directly, right? Because the problem is if a student doesn't pay me, I still have to pay the university for the student, right? So the student, we must pay for the student even if the student has or has not paid us, right? So it's really important that you get the pounds if you can, but we do make exceptions. But when we make exceptions, the challenge is we still are challenged to get that pound. So that's one of the big issues we're facing, right, with it. If you do have a big problem getting it, right, and you're not getting through, then liaise with me and I'll try to come up with an alternative, okay? Right, is this
with
degree
respect to
sure.
with respect to getting the discount, right? It says that the pay semester registration, the tuition, and the university fees, that will be the 500 plus the 8,000 plus the 600 pounds, or
Okay.
the full amount for the all the levels?
The semester fee, but the semester fee is a bit higher. You quoted a higher semester fee. Which level you're looking at, right?
Level 4.
Right, level 4. If you're paying to get the discount, it means that you're paying the 500 registration, 4,000 tuition, and 300 pounds, which works out to 7,500 TT in total. But of course, part of that 7,500 is 300 pounds, and then 4,500 is TT funds, right? And then 300 pounds is the university part, right?
So
Now,
one more question.
Sure.
Is NESE classes like IT specialists and networking considered?
Yes, if you did the NESE program, you should be able to get in. If you did the NESE diploma, you may be able to get into level 6 of the program, right?
Okay.
I've had past students getting in there. If you did your program at School of Practical Accounting, right, you did your diploma there, you should be able to get into level 6 as well, right, etc. Just to answer a couple of questions, right? Anj, I know you have a question. Just give me 1 second and then you'll go through with your question as well, right? In terms of the program and why I'll tell you from our perspective why we offer the discount for early payment, right? I have to pay the university fees relatively early in the semester. And in order to pay the university fees, I'm trying to encourage students to pay their fees up front so that I could pay the university. So because of that, the discount is really an incentive to encourage students to pay up front so that they will get a discount and I will have the fees so I can pay the university, right? For any business, it's a risk. So when students pay monthly, the truth is many times I don't get the university fees to pay the university. So I have to go and arrange to pay the university. Now, if you look at level 6, the university fee is 750 pounds for the semester, but the tuition is only 5,000, right? So meaning that I have to pay the university. So in some instances, I would have paid the university 7,500 TT, which is 750 pounds, but the student hasn't paid me anything at all. So it has actually cost me to have the student in the program because I still have to pay the university. So it's a risk sometimes we take by allowing students to pay monthly because I still have to pay the university. And that is why we try to give the discount for full payment upfront to encourage students to pay, so to minimize that risk for the institution. So you follow why we give the discount, and it's for full payment of the semester tuition, right? Okay. Now, in terms of, and I'm coming to you shortly again, as I indicated, right? But in terms of the degree, is the degree recognized in the US? Now, we've had students who've graduated from the program, and because it's a UK-based program, they are finding a lot of students are using this to migrate to the UK, to Canada, as well as to the US as well. So we do have students in the US and Canada, right, who have completed the program and have migrated to those, right? So it is accepted in those countries as well. Anj, could you go ahead with your question? Angelina?
Yes, sir. I was just wondering, in terms of the pound currency and acquiring the pound currency from the bank, is it a problem of the amount, the quantity, or a problem of just guessing the currency?
it's a shortage of the currency. So that creates a problem getting it, right? But what I would normally do, a lot of students are getting it. 1 or 2 students have indicated problems, but the thing is that we have given extra time to get the pound currency as well, because we understand it's beyond your control. But in most cases, students are able to get it. So for example, instead of going to if you went to the bank for £750 and you didn't get it, maybe ask for a smaller amount. So instead of paying the £750 up front because you're not getting it, ask it like £300 and then add another 300 and then like that, you know, so you could break it up into smaller amounts to see if you'll get it that way, right? Some have done it, but the £300 normally is not an issue. Sometimes students have gotten problems with the £750. Many times they haven't, but just in case your bank tells you there's a problem, you could probably reduce the amount and do multiple. So you get a small amount one time and then after a few weeks you go back for the other amount, right?
So
Okay.
you mentioned that you all had partnered with GMMB, right?
Yes.
Or had something like. So if I were to apply for the student loan, would that cover the pounds, or would I get the money in TT and then have to get the pounds?
Ideally, they will pay in TT currency, right?
Okay.
And right, they will pay in TT currency.
Okay.
All right. And feel free to call me Ravi. Yeah? You all call me Ravi. You don't have to call me Sir or Mr. Raghunath or Mr. Ravi as well. Right, Francois? Sorry, Francois. Hi, how are you, sir? Go right ahead.
Yes, fine. Yeah, I just want to find out, is it that if I can swipe my card by your office and to pay all the fees, even the one in pounds? Is it possible?
Well, you can pay us in TT dollars with credit card for the TT amount, but we encourage you to try to get the pounds. You see, we don't have the option paying with credit card to a pound account. That option is not available by the bankers yet. And because it's not, everything goes in the TT account. So as much as possible, we ask if you try to get the pounds, right? However, if you cannot, right, then we will assist in that case. But you will understand why I need to be cautious, because if I allow everyone just to pay in TT dollars, I cannot pay the university and my relationship with them is at risk. And that will impact you, because eventually if I cannot pay them, that will eventually impact you because we won't be able to offer the program, right? So hence the reason why I'm being very upfront with you guys about the challenges. Question, Francois, you have more questions, you go right ahead.
Yeah. So basically what you are recommending is that everybody should go to the bank and you will have to make a bank draft or simply go there and buy the pounds.
You could, either is fine, but note, if you're getting a bank draft, it's made out of CTS College. If you're getting the pound notes, I want you to be careful of the following. In terms of the pound notes, the UK, they have also, some of the notes are no longer in circulation, like the cut notes, etc. So I'm encouraging you to try to get the polymer notes for the pounds, because our bank, which is First Citizens, have had some challenges with some of the pound notes received where they returned it back. They said they weren't able to cash it in because it's no longer being used in the UK. So you have to be cautious of those as well. My recommendation is only accept polymer notes for the pounds if you can, right?
Okay.
Now,
all right, thank you.
You can do a wire transfer because like Scotiabank they don't do bank drafts, right? And they may not give you the pound notes, but I just want you to know the following. If you're doing a wire transfer with Scotiabank, what they may not tell you is when you're doing a wire transfer from Scotia to our bank for pounds, because it's a foreign currency, it goes to an intermediary bank in the UK. That intermediary bank usually deducts as much as £40 from your fees. So let's say you're paying us £300 and you made a payment of 300 through that intermediary bank, they would deduct like £40. So we only get 260. We could only record what is shown in our accounts. We can't record what you said. We could only record what we see in our account. And therefore, sometimes you have those challenges as well, right? So those are some of the potential problems. All right, any other question, guys?
So if you join from level 4, so you're doing level 4, 5, and 6, do you have a total time and total cost that it will
Sure.
you'll have to pay? And
yes.
The time it will take?
The cost will be the same as we have there, whether you take longer or shorter. You could take breaks in between, but I could share with you. Level 4 is 15,000. This is without the discount, right? Level 5 is 16,000. So that's 15. Level 5 is 16. And level 6 is 26,000. So if you add the three, 15, 16, 26, you'll get the total cost.
Okay,
Right.
and total time?
You have 2 years to do the course, but you could take longer. You can take breaks if you
Right,
wish,
okay.
right, etc. But 2 years is the minimum time starting from level 4. In terms of the vaccine card, you don't need any vaccination card. Your classes are online, and therefore there's no need for any vaccination card, etc. Whether you're vax or you're non-vax, you can attend classes, right? Because it's online. Okay, Francois, question? All right. Any other question, guys? Okay, so if there are no,
I have a question.
sure.
Yeah, is there any mechanism to get your like exam fees paid by a relative who lives in Europe or something?
But they could live anywhere in the world and they can't pay your fees. We have cases like those, but what they do, the university, I'll tell you something. The university is not willing to accept direct payment from students because they, as far as they are concerned, the students pay CTS and they invoice CTS. So as far as they're concerned, CTS is the customer when it comes to payment, not the student. So what your relative can do, they could pay to us. So they could do a wire transfer to CTS, and that's fine. We'll provide all the details for the wire transfer as well, but they could pay from any country to us using wire transfer, and that will go towards your fees. So that's fine. And the answer is yes.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Welcome. Well, if there are no further questions, what I'll do, I'll end the session now, and I'm going to compile the lecture notes. I'll email it to you guys with the email addresses you would have indicated as well. And I'll also use, apart from that, I'll also upload the recording on YouTube. It will take a while before the conversion and the upload is finished. So give me about 2 hours to send it off to you guys. All right. Thank you again, everyone, for your time.
Thank you, sir.
No problem. Dear sir, in terms of
Yes,
credit
sir.
card payment over the phone, it's something we're very cautious about because we don't actually, our credit card is only swipe payment right now, but we are looking at online payment with credit card. We just signed off and got approval from First Citizens. So we're hoping that in another month or so, students may be able to pay with credit card directly online using an online option available. So that should solve the problem there, dear sir, right? To pay credit card online via a website. Cool. All right. So guys, thank you very much. I look forward to getting your applications as well. Even if you're not sure, I would encourage you to apply. There's no cost in applying other than the time you've taken to fill out the form. And in the meantime, you look at your options as well. Okay. Guys, thank you for a wonderful session. Thank you for being on a group that asks questions, etc. I appreciate that. And I'll send all this stuff to you guys in a bit. Okay. Have a blessed day, everyone. Take care.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good night. Good afternoon.
You too, sir.
Thank you.
Bye. Don't forget to include your email address if you haven't done so, right? Please send your email address if you haven't done so on the chat.